Oh my gosh, it's been like months, like 6 months since I posted something. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and say, hi, I'm still alive. Oh, you're looking a little tired there, girl. And I'm currently on my last night float of fellowship. So it's 5 days. This is day 2. And so I wanted to bring you all to work with me. So if you don't know, I am Doctor Yogi. I am in my fellowship year to do family medicine with surgical obstetrics, meaning I can do C-sections. And so I am in the final stretch here. I think there's like 15 days left, 16 days left, something like that. So I wanted to bring you all to work with me and hopefully try to post something before I graduate. But it's been a year. So anyway, have fun. Come to work with me. So I just got to work and my co-fellow told me that she's in a room pushing. So sounds like they just started. We usually do sign out at 5:30. So probably go check in and see if she wants to be relieved or something like that. If the baby's still pretty high up, a lot of times the nurses will keep pushing with them, and then we can do like a sign out, and then we can come back in. But they'll call if the baby's about to come out. But yeah, so I guess we'll see. So they just started pushing. Women can push for up to 3 hours before you get to the point, if they're not making progress, that you call it arrest of descent, meaning the baby's just not coming down for whatever reason. Maybe the baby's too big, maybe the pelvis is too small, but a woman has up to 3 hours. And if they want to push longer, they can. But if you haven't made progression with that head coming down at the 3-hour mark, you start to think in your mind, maybe this isn't a good fit or cephalic pelvic disproportion. So then you start kind of broaching the conversation about a C-section if it just doesn't look like the delivery is going to happen vaginally. But I'm really big on promoting vaginal deliveries. All the FPOBs here, family practice with obstetrics, are really big on promoting vaginal delivery. And so when we're offering a C-section or recommending a C-section, it's because it is indeed indicated and not just because we like to cut. So anyway, we'll see what's happening. Right. I got a moment to eat. I had some food delivered. And it's so funny when you get food delivered and they give you 2 pairs of chopsticks and then you're like, am I fatty? Anyway, the night was pretty crazy for a second there. It wasn't that crazy. It was just busy. Like, you get here, you sign out, which means you hear from the off-going team about the patients and things that need to happen overnight and things like that. And then we have a couple of patients that are in active labor. We had to go and assess them, check them. There's one we had to consult MFM, which is our maternal fetal medicine doctors, or as we call the patients, as we say to patients, it's our high-risk doctors. So we had to staff a patient with them. And so we're kind of just managing labor. You know, we have one that could possibly go to section. Anyway, so I just had a moment to eat. And we'll see how the rest of the night goes. So, all right, so I was definitely supposed to be filming a whole bunch of stuff, and then it got really busy and I didn't have time to film. So here we are. This is the call room. You've seen this in the previous video, but tonight we've delivered everybody. There's nobody in triage. We have like some moments, so I'm going to try to lay down for a couple of minutes because they're working on construction on my building. So in the day when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I'm not, because all you can hear is hammering and all of that good stuff. So I'm like, ooh, finally a moment. I can go down and relax for a little bit. But this is actually night 3. So I was planning to film this all in one night, but of course it isn't happening. But I do want to take a moment to give you guys an update on how things are going. So I did accept a job in Virginia. I will be doing family medicine with Surgical Obstetrics. I will be doing C-sections. Oh my gosh, we only have like 16 days left for fellowship at this point. So really excited about that. I will come and give you more details about the job in an upcoming video, as well as I know someone asked about suture tutoring, so I'm going to do a video about that and all of that jazz. But I'm just going to take a couple moments to try to lay down, because for some reason, right at the change of shift is when everybody wants to come in and they have all these issues with the patients that are on the floor. Everybody just wants to cause a scene, I guess. Triage starts blowing up. People want to just push babies out in triage. It always happens between like that last 2 hours to change a shift. But that's all right. I'm gonna take this moment because on OB, you sleep when you can, you eat when you can, and that's real life. Hey guys, so I have finished my nights, my last stretch of nights for fellowship right before graduation. As you can see, the house is kind of in a little bit of disarray. We are moving to the next location. So I'm really excited. You know, we have a very, very little time left here. But anyway, I just finished those nights, which you will see in this video. I kind of started filming and then I just stopped, and I was like, ooh, don't really have much footage as much as I would have liked. So the end of the video is me taking a nap, because that was that. At night is when you get to be the most autonomous, because although you have your attendings there, your level 1s, which are the providers that do OB without C-sections, and the level 2s that do family practice, that practice OB with surgical obstetrics, and then of course the level 3, which is an OB-GYN. You have access to them. You can wake them up, you can text them, you can call them if you have any concern about anything. But for the most part, as you continue to go through fellowship, you find that you can handle people that come into triage for labor rule out, or you know, concern for leakage of fluid, and all of those things. So you kind of triage them and you let them go on about their day. Or if you get calls from the ER, you know, about someone who might have had a missed abortion, or a miscarriage or an ectopic pregnancy, and you go down and you discuss the options. You're actually staffed up with an OB-GYN that's on call for GYN services with the ED. So, you know, the ER will call you and let you know, and you go and assess the patient, and then staff it with the OB-GYN that's on call. And if it's not surgical, you usually take care of everything, meaning you administer methotrexate for people who have ectopic pregnancies, or you know, you do some type of medication like Cytotec, or I can't ever say the other one, but it's mifeprostone. We don't use it because our hospital doesn't carry it, but it's actually, a study came out recently that says the use of this medication, I'm gonna put a little star, an asterisk with the actual name of it. The use of this medication as pre-treatment prior to Cytotec is more effective in, you know, expulsion of products of conception for someone who has had a miscarriage or a spontaneous abortion. So, anywho, it's definitely a moment of growth, and it's so uncomfortable at the beginning because you don't know anything, and you're on nights and you're just like, oh my god, I have to call for everything, I don't know anything, and I'm just, you know. But then toward the end, you know, you're with the resident will go in and see the patient, and then they'll come out and staff. As you know, July 1st came, so now we have all these new interns, and you you get used to things at the end of June where the resident can pretty much do everything. Like they'll go in, they'll get the history and physical. If a speculum exam is indicated or a cervical check is indicated, the resident will do that, and then when they come out and they're staffing it with you, they have all that information to report. However, that's not necessarily the case with a new intern because they aren't familiar with cervical exams, and like it's hard to find a cervix sometimes. You know, you think in 2021 we'd have some cooler way to assess, you know, a cervical change if someone's dilated, their effacement, how thin they are, in other words, besides, you know, our fingers, right? But no, nope, that's all we got. So if you haven't done a lot of those, sometimes it's hard to find a cervix that is very far in the back of the vaginal canal or the birth canal. So, you know, you have to go in and be present for all that. You have to be in there if they have to do a speculum exam, because if you're assessing for pooling, if you're looking for like a rupture of membrane workup, then you want to be able to see in the back of the birth canal to see if there's pooling back there, you know, because if an intern hasn't had that experience yet, they haven't had that experience. So it's been interesting this last set of nights. It was 5 nights. Just seeing like even my own growth from the beginning till now. Like, you know, in the beginning, if someone came in and they were having contractions and you were concerned that they were going to deliver pretty quickly, or what we call precipitous labor, you know, I'm like calling my level 2, my level 1, hey, there's this patient coming in, I think they're about to push a baby out. They're about to have a baby. Can you come? And now you get to the point, if somebody precipitously delivers, you just deliver them. And then in the morning when you do sign out, I've had it a couple of times where my attending's like, someone delivered overnight? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, like, yeah, you could, I got it under control. You're good. So I'm really excited about, you know, the growth that's happened over this fellowship year. It was very, very hard. There were some times, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I was just so emotionally and mentally drained. I could just, like, it was just rough. You know, you'd find yourself, or I'd find myself just emotionally wrecked, and I was like, I need to talk to somebody. And so you're trying to go to clinic and you listen to people talk about how their mood is low and they feel lonely because of the pandemic and the isolation, and you're just like, I am also hanging on by a thread. But then that too passes, and you know, we're here at the end. So I am going to go, but I hope you all enjoyed that. I couldn't take you on like in and out of everything in the hospital because patient confidentiality and privacy, right? You can't go in their rooms with the phone, but it was definitely eye-opening how much I had grown from the start of this journey. So anyway, check me out next week. I'm gonna post you all with post an update about what's next. I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier in this video. Once again, I'm so sorry I've been gone for so long, but every time I try to like capture some footage for a video, it just be like a little bit of footage and not enough to make a full video. So here we are. But I'll see you guys in the next one with an update. Graduation is right around the corner. I'm so excited. We got some fun stuff planned, but stay tuned. I'll see you all next week.